Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Moses once again. I'm just gonna show you a quick thing that I've got to realize today as I was, trying to code out something for a client. NextJs is a big application, is a big framework that most of us use, and especially you watching the video right now. And I've got this amazing trick which I think I didn't know, or you might also not know. For example, if you go onto a website like Freestock, you can go onto Freestock and find any picture. So and you click onto the picture. So after like I'm doing now, so if I click onto the picture, it's gonna render into this model format. So this is a model, but in actual sense, if you try to see this model, if I try to show you the URL we are currently on a different page, but in a model format. As you can see, it's pixels.com/photo and then the slug and then blah blah and all of that. But you can do a lot of stuff, like you can be on a different page but on another page. You can browse through, you can get to see like other page. And the funny thing is that if I copy this URL, for example, if I show the URL again and copy it and open a new tab and paste this URL, I hit enter. This is now going to open up in a page format, meaning you have a model which is shareable. You can share the link. You can share the link to someone, and still they will get to the actual page you are on. Let's give it a time to see how it loads. I don't know why it's quite delaying to load. Yeah, but finally it has loaded. So we're having the actual page now. It's the actual page still we are on. We are on this creator, we are seeing his pictures and maybe all the related stuff, like more of her content, or her or his whatsoever they are. But still we are onto now the page, rendering the same things we were seeing in the model and now seeing them directly onto this page. So you may have asked yourself, how can I do something like that? It's a useful feature in for example, if you're trying to work onto projects involving like an e-commerce projects like these pixels. And surprisingly today I'm working on a certain e-commerce, client-based e-commerce, and yeah, they wanted a certain feature like this, so I have to go into details and read more about and maybe make research of how I could get there. And I go to this amazing tool. This is NextJs still. So under the document, I'm going to link this into the description. So we're having what we call intercepting routes. So let me try and zoom in for you guys. So yeah, it goes in and says intercepting routes allows you to load a route from another part of your application. So within the current layout, this routing paradigm can be useful when you want to display the content of a route without the user switching to a different context. This is really a good feature. Most of the times, users hate to go to a certain page. Maybe they're not going to buy something, but they have to go to that page and then come back. It's quite hectic. I personally, I find it a problem when I have to click. I'm not going to take the thing. I have to first click and see it in another page, then I go back. And for the model case, it seems my life, it's simplifies my life and the task I have to do, like clicking and clicking. It's really a good thing. So for example, when clicking on a photo in a feed, you can display the photo in a model overlaying the feed. In this case, NextJs intercepts the photo and maybe the ID or the slug, whatsoever you're using, and then masks the URL and overlays it over the feed. So take an instance, maybe on the home page, so it will now get this other route and it masks it to overlay within the current layout. We all have seen models and we know how models behave. So, but they go ahead and say, however, when navigating to the photos by clicking a shareable URL or by refreshing the page, the entire photo page should render instead of the model. So no route interception should occur. So if we go back to our You see, okay, so this is the model we were on. Let me try to move this to avoid confusion. So this is the model we were on at first. So if I try to make a hard reload or refresh, you're gonna see it's gonna do the same thing. It's gonna simply take us now to the actual page, and that's what NextJs is trying to talk about. So you have the model, and first it's like states. If state doesn't change, you're gonna still have the model. But if there is any slight change, now you'll be getting the actual page, which I guess is still a good thing. There's no problem with that. By the time maybe a person reaches to click or to refresh, it can be I think I'm having some network problem. Oops, we couldn't find this page here. Here's some helpful links and all of that. Okay, I think I'm just having network issues. Let me just try to reload that, and we go back to the docs. I guess it will load there. So they go ahead and say if there's someone who tries to refresh, then they'll go to the actual page you wanted them to go to. So they still have a model, which is a page rendering on top, overlaying on top of the actual layout they are on right now. You can use it in some things like the the dashboards. You're trying to make, maybe someone make some edits onto that exact layout without them having to go find, maybe click, edit product, edit. So it's quite hectic. To click each single time to go, dig into something, which you could do in a model format, and you render it. So I just like it that way. And this is something you can control by, for example, you can say this can only be for a person who is using, maybe if you're using Tailwind, you can still configure that with you can say, for example, if this is a mobile phone, then we shall render that. We shall not render the model. We shall just simply take them to the page. Or if it is the laptop, we just render the model, and we shall do all the rest. So it's something like that. So that's what they're trying to say. And they go ahead and give us the conversion. So they tell us intercepting routes can be defined with the conversion, which is similar to relative path conversions. So, like for example, but this dash slash, which could be for segments. So you can use this to match anything whatsoever you're trying to work on. You can use this, for example, to match segments on the same level. You can use this to match segments on one level above. You can also use this to match segments to levels above. So to match segments from the root app directory, then you can use something like that. But I'm going to show you how to do all of this step by step. So I hope you guys stick with me to the end, which is not going to be so long anyways. So for example, you can intercept the photo segment from within the feed segment by creating a blah blah, which is like a photo directory like this. So normally when we want to do something like that, you have a product, you want to link it to the user, and then get it there. You want to link it to the slug or to its ID to display the detailed view of it. You could have something like this, a photo, and you have the ID, and then you create a page there, the TS or JS, whatsoever it is. Now, to use these intercepting routes, you only have to go ahead and do something like this. Just pass these. These are the conversions which NextJs will understand. So you just pass it any name. So you do this, which you're going to do anyways. Just like this is a basic way to understand what you're going to do. So note that these double dots in the brackets conversion is based on route segments. Not the file system, but the route segments. So for example, they say intercepting routes can be used together with the parallel routes. This is also something big. If you want me guys to make a video about these routes called the parallel routes, I can do a video. If you comment down into the comment section and you ask that, I'll be able to do that. But if you go to parallel routes, if you click onto the link, it explains to you more. These are like now more detailed things you can use onto your dashboard and all of that. But I'm planning to make a video on that. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you want to see this coming up, you can subscribe and turn up the notifications, and also maybe give us a like. So anyway, so I'll make that in the future because it's slots and all of that. So if you go ahead and you go to the they explain the model structure, so making the model content shareable through a URL and all of that. It was originally based from the idea of the parallel route, and I was reading this and trying to play along. So they tell us to consider the following UI pattern where a user can open a photo model from a gallery using client-side navigation, or navigate to the photo page directly from a shareable URL. So this is basically what we've been talking. So we have the photo ID, which will display the detailed page here, and now the model will come in from this. So we shall have a model structured folder, and then we enter the name which you want to target. For example, we want to work onto the photo, and then we do the same. We get this ID and all of that, and we do these things here, as you're gonna see how to work through all of that. And this has a nice if you continue reading, they'll explain to you more. But most of the things I found as a developer is like things are really understood. They understood when you like working on a project. Sometimes you try to read the documentations, and it's quite hard, and just hectic. Sometimes you try to read and you understand it in the right way, or sometimes you understand it in a wrong way. So it's quite challenging for the documentation. But glad I'm here to help out. Yeah. So you can see they have a nice documentation here for Next.js. Basically, I think this was if you click onto that, this was using JavaScript, I guess. So I'm going to be working with TypeScript, which is a good. Things change somehow if you're using TypeScript. So for example, if you go into the app and you click onto the app, we're gonna get to see the same structure. They have the photos ID and the models ID. So yeah, they have something like this which we're going to be working through. I just want to show you how it looks like. For example, if you go back and now we click onto this link, they for them what they made. Take an instance, this is your product 1, product 2, or photo 1, photo 2. If you click on it, you can have a model having all whatsoever you want there. But if you try to reload, now it will take you to the page directly of that same thing. Still, you are on in the model. Now, without talking much, I think we just kickstart and I show you how we do it. Now, before we do that, I have something already I've been working on. Project we're gonna use. So if I try to go to my home page of this project, I just want you guys to to just follow along with me and see what you do, how to do it. So for example, if I click there to come to the home page, it's just like a normal e-commerce platform which I'm trying to build for a certain client. And I'd made that feature for the model. For example, if I click onto any product, for example, I click onto this, then I'll get its model view first. If I click on it, so if I click on it now, I'm gonna get its model view first. You see, so this is like the advantage. I've not left the page, I'm onto the same page. If I check the URL, it's localhost 3000 products, and in the actual page, and if I try to make a refresh or a hard reload, now you're gonna notice what it's gonna do. It's now going to take me to the actual page I should be on. Yeah, so if you want to, that's something we're going to be working on anyways. So as it's trying to to load, I just want to show you that how it works for you guys to see. Now as you can see, now I've been brought to this page, like the detailed page of the product. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so it's what we're going to be doing. So if I head over to my code, now we're going to be doing something for this instance. If I click onto the shop, to go back to the home page, for this instance we're going to create something for the login. We want when the user now clicks onto this login, instead of them, for example, going to this page I had made, if you could see the layout, it's already on login. So instead of them going directly to this page, I would want them to go instead to a model first. Then maybe if they want to do anything, or if the browser refreshes, then that's when they should get here. Okay, so if I go and come to my application, the first thing I'm going to do is, as you can see my structure, I have this front end and the back end, which I'm not going to work on to the back end for today. So if I go here and I click onto my front end, I already have a model there, the first one for the product, so I can go ahead and create. I'm showing you how to do it directly. So you go into the onto your folder you want to do it, you create a folder which, and you name it. You start with this at syntax. So for this one I can name it at auth. So after naming it at auth, the next thing is going into there maybe and creating a file called default.tsx. So if you hit that enter, I'm just gonna go and copy this. I'm gonna explain what it does and paste it here. So now this one is like a default fallback. If NextJs tries to render anything which is not there, I mean something which is not working properly, or something which is if the page hasn't loaded yet, there's always that error you get. But to avoid it, you normally create a default and then you return something into that default. You can return still a loading state, or you can just simply return nothing, which I'm doing here. So with that done, now the next thing I want to do inside this auth folder is to go ahead and create now the interception route. So I click still on the new folder, and then I open brackets, I put a dot, single dot, and close the bracket, and then at the other hand I put the word login. So I hit enter. So now here what I can do is just going to go ahead and do page.tsx. So I hit enter. So with that I can render anything here, RFC, to get the defaults and place it here like this. Okay, so now here you can go ahead and design any model in maybe a component. You go into your component and design a model for that. Like for example, if I take you through what I did before in the other, for the product, I have the products route there, which is taking me to the Slack this time instance. But if I check my model component, it's just something which is it's just showing. I mean, this is like I'm using shared CNN for the dialogue. Okay, so let me just go ahead. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna simply copy this dialogue thing, because it's what I want to use. This is just basically coming in still from shared CN. So I'm just gonna go and remove this and paste this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove whatsoever I think that I'm not gonna need. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of all of this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of all of this, and just go here and import these which are coming in from that from shared CN, from the UI. Also I need to put in this title, and also I need to I think I put in the header, isn't yeah. So now I'll be having something like this. So I'll go ahead and maybe put something here as well. I mean import this. So I'll have the title, I'll have my title, I already have my title. For example, here I can put the name of the site, which I'm gonna do. I have my names already configured through my site config, and I can just call it the name, and I'm gonna import router. Just gonna say const router is equal to use router from the next navigation, which is just gonna be like this, and then on top I make this client, I make this a client component, and I save this. So I guess yeah, the error is gone. So now what I want to render into this in this, it should be maybe my component. So I can go ahead and give this background I mean, should just call it BG brand black. So I use my brand colors. Then inside, after this, maybe the header, then here I'll render my component, which the one which is I want to show is this sign in, and I hit enter. So now this is like my sign in page. So for now I'm on to this step, but surprisingly, if you go back and you still click onto the register, it's just going to take us to this page because we are not there yet. But now to finish, if I click there to go back onto the home page, if I click onto this Shopify, it goes back here. So now if I go back to my code, to make this all now functional is I come to my layout. Let me just minimize this. I come to my layout, which is here, the one I'm going to use. So I have in your layout, you just have to call the name of this folder you made here, starting with the art. So the art, what it does, it now makes it like a global page, something like that, this conversion. So what I do, I'll just go ahead after my module, I just go ahead and call the auth. Now the auth we will do that because it doesn't have types yet. So I'll just duplicate this and call this auth. And yeah, so then after doing that, you have to render this auth down here, maybe after the children or before the children, whatsoever you want. So something like this, simply like this. So with this, now surprisingly, if you go and try to check back, if you click onto our register one more time, okay, see, we still be taken to this page. When you're trying to make a hard reload, I think there's just some small issue. Okay, let's see. So if I go to home page and make a hard reload, which page am I on? Just gonna go on to, okay, let me just leave it to make a reload back to the home page, because it's always simple as that. So immediately do that, it should just work if I told you followed the steps that I'm taking you through. So let's see on this page, click to go on to the home page. Okay, so I'm onto the home page. I'm just gonna make a hard reload one more time. So as it's making a reload, we try to verify if everything is okay. So if we go, we have our auth folder, which is imported in our layouts and which we put here down. So in our auth folder, we have this login, which is and then in the login, we have our page you're gonna use, which is this. It's just gonna return what you want it to return. So if we try to click again, okay, now that's good. So one of the things I realized, sometimes, if it's your first time trying to connect that, because now like this is something conversion which has to be converted fast, I guess. So I found it that if I first try to stop my terminal, I mean I kill my application, I first stop it and then rerun it, I found it to be working, because I think it just takes a lot of time to update this conversion we made for it to be working, because I just realized that on the second time I was trying to make something else. I think it seems to be taking some time when you do that. So to verify if that's true, if I try to first reload here one more time, we can see it here on the top, it's trying to reload. You can look at our terminal, see for some information if it has finished compiling. Yeah, but basically it's that, and it was a big feature which really got me amazed because I was wondering how am I gonna do this. I was almost starting to look for packages and all of that, and just got to to read more to see that NextJs had exactly what I wanted in it without me needing to use any other extra extra third parties. So it seems it has finished compiling. So if I go ahead and register, uh, yeah, this time around, you see guys, it has worked. So it has rendered it properly, it has brought it out properly. So like this is super amazing guys. It's really cool. So now you have the model here first instead. Maybe still, if you're trying to verify, if I do here, you're gonna see it's saying that we are on the login page right now, meaning this is shareable. You can share it out to anyone and still they will get to where you want. So if you share the link out now, that person won't get this model, but he will go to the other page we saw first. Yeah, otherwise it's been great watching till the end. Please, if you like the video, subscribe or give it a like, and you can write down a comment, something like that. I'm looking forward to replying or responding to all of them. Thank you, and have a nice time. Bye.